We obviously got to partner with you guys. We had a brand new furniture line that debuted at our meeting. What are your thoughts on the new collection? What does it say about where event design is heading?
Those close connections, we don't get that anymore. Working remote, and when you do get together, you want to sit and talk and connect with people. So you want to have those spaces that you can sit and really connect with somebody and network that way.
When you have conferences and guests are overstimulated with the information that they're receiving, you want them to shift away from content overload to the experience that they're having, the story that you're wanting to tell.
You have beautiful, beautiful rentals, but you also have a airtight logistics plan.
The operations and the logistics on the back end, it's just a machine.
It really comes down to the team and communication.
Well, welcome to Event Planner Confessions. I'm here with Sarah Bradley and Renee Poole with AFR. And I really want to kick it off. I want to hear from you guys. I think our listeners do too. Obviously, you're a national partner for us. We could not do many of the things that we do without you guys. But we all start somewhere. So I'd love to hear your origin story of how you got into the events industry. You want to kick us off, Sarah?
Amazing, sure. Let's see, I started right out of college. I moved to New Orleans and I went to work at the Hilton New Orleans Riverside in event sales. And that was at the time, I think it still is, the largest hotel in New Orleans. So that was just right out of the gate, a really great experience for—
Thrown right in, right?
Yeah. And then after Hurricane Katrina, we moved away, and then I did event venue sales in Charleston, South Carolina. I owned my own business. Gosh, it seems like so many lifetimes I've passed. Then moved to South Florida, and that's where I actually started with AFR almost 12 years ago now. So that, yeah, has been my story, really, just in events, carrying me through my life in different phases, but then a lot of the chunk of time with AFR, and I love it.
Love that. How about you, Renee?
Kind of a similar origin story to Sarah's. I started right out of college as well in the events industry and in hotels specifically in Orlando, Florida. So thrown into the theme park world, a hotel right across the street from Universal Studios. And that was very much hit the ground running. I moved to Texas after that and dived into business ownership myself as well, the rental game, and have been with AFR now for about a year. So continuing on with rentals and loving every minute of it.
Love it. I feel like everyone that has an origin story that started in hotels, I'm like, you can do anything.
Truly,
I truly believe. So it's a very impressive start. So I want to kick it off and talk a little bit about our Imagine That meeting that we recently had in Fort Worth, Texas. And I think what was really exciting is we obviously got to partner with you guys on that. And we had a brand new furniture line that debuted at our meeting. And I would just love to understand, like, what are your thoughts on the new collection? What does it say about where event design is heading? What are you kind of excited for and seeing in the rental space as we move forward?
Yeah, sure. We have a lot of new items that debuted here. So things that we saw actually for the first time. But in the general session area, we had some of our new Arcadia sectionals that are a beautiful moss green, really comfortable. They seat 4 people. We also have our new heritage tables in the back. It's a higher communal table, a really nice smooth writing surface, the functionality of things that I really like to talk about too, because it's important. You don't just want to plop something in there that's pretty but not functional, especially for a general session. And then our Casey tables. It's a beautiful mid-century modern table. We've got those in different styles and heights. And then our halo bars for the registration, they were super new, a white metal frame that can glow as well, a glow bar, and can be branded. So that's what you all did, branded it for the conference, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, we love a branded bar moment, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And I think being a part of that event really allowed us to, like you mentioned, lean into what we're seeing as far as trends go in the way of functionality, differentiation, sectionals that really make the room, but also personalization within the branding and the registration tables and that new Halo line. So that is and has been ever prevalent in what we're seeing in trends, especially for something like that.
This episode is brought to you by Cohera.
One of the hardest things about destination management is that you're only as good as the relationships you have on the ground. Cohera has spent years building those relationships with venues, vendors, and local partners across the country, so you don't have to. Full service, destination management, national scale, people who know the market. That's Cohera. Learn more at meetcohera.com.
Gone are the days of the giant banquet rounds or the crescents. And now people want to feel like they're sitting comfortably, more lounge style seating, more mixed seating. What are your takes on why that kind of is moving in that direction?
I feel like, or I've definitely heard from clients as well, that just those close connections, we don't get that anymore. We're moving away from that in different ways, right? Like the working remote, and when you do get together, you want to sit and talk and connect with people. And that from all different types of business events, right? Like the event that we did for you in Fort Worth, this is the first time you all really got together as one. So you want to have those spaces that you can sit and really connect with somebody and network that way.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I also feel like we're seeing that shift, not only for all of those great reasons, but also because, you know, when you have conferences and guests are overstimulated with the information that they're receiving, you want them to shift away from, you know, content overload to the experience that they're having, the story that you're wanting to tell, and things like that. So I think that also leans into the need for more curated spaces, not the typical round 8-seater tables that we've seen in the past, but really amplifying the fact of community connection, you know, and the reason why they're at that conference and there.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I want to also ask you, because I think the thing that I am always impressed by with AFR is you have beautiful, beautiful rentals, but you also have a airtight logistics plan, because we're talking inventory all over the country, large quantities, determining whether or not products are available, oftentimes at the last minute. We're to blame for that. And how does that work? I would love to just kind of peel a little bit behind the scenes and share with us a little bit about how you guys manage that.
We have huge warehouses across the country with all of our inventory that's on our website in each warehouse. And then we also have the ability we do regional transfers weekly all across the country. And we also do cross-country transfers of furniture when needed, when it's a huge event like Formula One or the Waste Management Open that we've done for sports-wise, or even for events like yours when it's a 1,000-person event when we need, you know, 1,000 dining chairs. So really it's just, yes, logistics on the back end is insane. So we are so lucky to be able to sell what we sell because it's beautiful, but the operations and the logistics on the back end it's just a machine, and it is very impressive. So that's sort of how it works. It's really like, get it there by Friday, please. And then they put what they need to put on a truck and it goes. So it's amazing.
I was going to say, it really comes down to the team and communication and the understanding from partners like you, built on that relationship to know, hey, we need this flipped really fast. Hey, you know, we'll put it on a truck tomorrow. So it's kind of just the all-encompassing relationships supported by a really awesome team.
This episode is also brought to you by AFR Events. Furniture is not the last thing you figure out. It's the first thing your attendees will feel when they walk into the room. AFR Events works with the event planners across the country to make sure that the feeling is intentional. From brand new furniture lines to national scale logistics, they're the partner that help you design a room that actually means something. Learn more at afrevents.com.
Obviously, I'm a planner. I might be looking locally. I might not always think nationally, a national vendor with that kind of presence. And I might think that because I'm worried that it's not going to save me money. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit, or tell our listeners really a little bit of like why going with that national partner is really the value. What is that value for them?
I think when you want consistency, I often compared us to almost like a Starbucks in a way. You know that you're going to get something at Starbucks that you want, but maybe not the saving money part at Starbucks. We'll talk about that. That's a different conversation. But that consistency of it's worth it for this service. And our minimums around our warehouses are very reasonable. So that is something that a lot of people who say, oh, well, I've been looking at a local vendor. Can you tell me about your minimums? And they're like, oh, that's actually very reasonable. And even our minimums to go to a place that we aren't, that's a benefit that we have, because when we're not in a localized area, and we can go to Kansas City, Missouri, or we can go to the middle of Minnesota, we do. Our minimums actually aren't that high for that too. So they don't know that until we're able to talk to them about that. But it's really surprising what we can do on a budget.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not only the consistency in service and product, but also the scope of what we can do too. Being a national company, we have the product and the inventory to support some of those larger events, offer support for local teams as well. So that's just one of the benefits of going with that national company.
Yeah. So I also like to just learn a little bit about where you guys get your inspiration. I think, sometimes people think, well, it's a rental company. I'm ordering X number of chairs, X number of sofas, X number of this, but there's so much creativity behind creating a space with those rental items. So I'd love to know, where are you guys going to find your inspiration?
Oh gosh, I don't have a place that, I read, industry trade magazines and websites, which, like event marketers type of things, where you can see these really cool events and what people are doing in that space. But I really love just diving into our inventory and like putting things together, maybe in Canva, and putting in things together in All Seated or Prism, and just really seeing, and then putting it in 3D and seeing what it looks like, and just seeing like, oh, and then putting like a little accessory. And I think a lot of our people across the country do that kind of thing too.
It's also really interesting to see trends come down from things like interior design and architectural digest, and kind of see those trends as they make their way into the event industry coast to coast. We also are so grateful for partners like Cohere that kind of pull us into 2026 and pull us into the trends and ask us to continue to push the envelope with things. So that also helps us to stay very trend forward.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I just had a conversation recently with someone where I think the events industry has this unique ability to pull from every other industry out there, from technology to fashion, architecture. There's so much out there that can inspire us. So I think it's a really great opportunity to keep your eyes open to other things. Okay, I'm going to dive into what I think is my favorite part of the show. We are Event Planner Confessions. So I would love to hear from you guys a confession, maybe from a rental crazy moment that went wrong, or a client that had a crazy request. What do you have?
Oh, I have one.
It's
It's very recent. And I will just...
And hopefully it's not about us.
It's not. But I will say a word of caution to every event planner out there, because we just dealt with this. If you're ever planning an event in the middle of downtown New York City, and it's a new venue that hasn't had any, multiple event vendors trying to load in at the same time with limited access, as New York City always has, or any city really, any logistical beast of a load in, is to make sure you're being very meticulous with all of the plans that you need to have, because it can affect us, but it can also affect you and your event. So it was definitely not you, because you guys you have airtight scheduling and logistics, we found too, which is great for us. But that's a word to the wise for that kind of thing. That's my confession.
Cautionary tale.
I am drawing a blank.
Yeah, you're like, I can't top that one. What do you see as a common mistake from planners when they're really trying to stretch that rental budget? What are you seeing that they're making mistakes on in trying to kind of cut corners?
The price per seat. So for example, a planner says, I want our, 25-person C-suite event, but we want all armchairs. Maybe not C-suite, any event. We want all armchairs. But an armchair, for example, is maybe, let's say $300 a seat. It's one seat. However, if you can do a sofa or a love seat, that really breaks down the price to be, $100 per seat or $125 per seat. And really that can stretch a lot. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't think we want to have people sit on a sofa, or they might not sit on a sofa. But even if 2 people sit on a sofa, that's really breaking down the budget instead of a $300 chair to really helping you stretch that dollar. That's what I would say.
Also remembering that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. A general session can be mixed soft seating with hotel chairs, kind of stretching that budget a little bit more, but still making the room feel really curated and intentional at the same time.
We talked about how you guys find inspiration, putting it on paper, like in Canva, and really just pulling pieces together. What do you feel like is the first step when a client's really thinking about creating an intentional space? What should they be considering first and foremost?
I feel like that is something that you all know a lot about. It's the destination. Where are you going to be? Whether it's the city or whether it's the venue, a hotel. What does the carpet look like? What is they may have these brand colors that don't look great on the carpet, but can we pull in a rug to really differentiate the space, or block it off with some hedges so you can conceal some things that you need to? So really thinking about the destination, where you are, or a theme, and then sort of
drilling down from
there.
And figuring out the why. What do you want attendees to walk away with? What do you want the, furniture story to be? What do you want the overall story to be? And again, kind of drilling it down from there.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
We obviously love to have you as a valuable partner, and we look forward to working with you all the time, everywhere.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you're getting value out of this conversation, the best thing you can do is hit subscribe. Event Planner Confessions, powered by Cohera, drops new episodes every other week with the people, ideas, and activations shaping the future of this industry. And if you want to see what Cohera is actually building behind the scenes, head to meetcohera.com. We'll see you on the next one.